have this condo to service. I've got to polish the base up and the pillars and the seat board. You have a look there, don't know if you can see that, but somebody's put a pin in there. A normal sewing pin in there. It's supposed to have a pin in there that's got a knurl in the centre of it. So that at the moment that's not working as it should, because it's not going up and down. It's supposed to be spring loaded. There's oh. So we'll have that off. I don't want to come out of there. A bit tight. Cool, you can get it tight. Not meant to be that tight. It's having a new torsion spring anyway, so I'm not worried about damaging it. And then at the top here, there's a little screw. Does look like a horror torsion spring, but yeah, I say it's going to get a new one anyway. So we'll just get it stripped out. Looks as though that goes out that way. Yeah. For some reason my pliers have got magnetised. Gentle twist on that. And then this has got these little twist bits in it. Some of them are easy to get at and some of them aren't. It's, in principle it's a good idea, but I've already let the mainspring down, so just in case anybody's worrying about it, I've already done that. That's that one done. The only way I'm trying to do it sensibly is with this little I think it's BA actually, yeah, 11BA, and that one's going to be a bit of a pain to do, I think. I don't know whether I can get in there. There is a hexagon behind. Don't know whether I can get in there with that or not. As long as I can find a spanner to fit it, of course. I don't like doing it with pliers. That's not going to go in there either. That's annoying. Oh yeah. Oh no, it's not a very good fit. I've had this problem before with these and I can't remember what I did. Okay, so what I've decided to do, rather than do any damage, is take the movement apart with the dial still on. I don't know why, I think must have been done up by Arnold Schwarzenegger, half of these things, because they're so tight, some of these screws on these clocks. I can't see if they can tighten on their own. So there's the back cock. That's almost coming out, look. That's what holds the saddle onto the back cock. This did have a spring guard at one time. But like a lot of things on these, well, a lot of times, not things, on these clocks, they people just don't put them back on. Well, I've got one here for a young'uns. The reason it isn't on at the moment is because I'm regulating it, but once it's regulated, it'll go on. God, that's tight and all. Sure, I let the spring down. In fact, I know we did. Yeah. Everything's loose, but very strange. That should lift her off there. Just jammed, I think, just where it hasn't been off for years. I don't want to force it because you end up bending the plate and it will never go again. That's the bottom off. These things are sent to try us, and they certainly do. There we go. So now if we take all these, I normally inspect them, but I'll do that once I got the dial off. There's the offending part. Now that should come off. Ah, no, that one's not off. Not totally. Put that away there. I've gone completely the wrong way. That's better. And that will come off. Eventually it will. There we go. That can go over there safely out of the way. Little E-clip there. You've got to make sure you don't lose that tension washer. Don't know whether you can see that, but it's curved. Not looking bad, Nick. So it's just a clean up. I don't lacquer these, but I should be lacquering the base and the pillars and the seat board. You can tell it's a modern one because I always check. It's definitely brass, but there the brass is very thin. The brass is very thin there, but it won't stick there. You can see it's got a steel piece underneath it. Amazing how many people polish stuff and leave polish behind, and it doesn't do the stuff any good. It tends to corrode brass. Get this undone. Get the centre cup undone as well. Sorry you can't see this because I'm left-handed. I'll turn it around now. Do the cup as well. Now it's ready for polishing. Put some of this stuff away. These bits just come off like that, but these unscrew from the top there. And again, if you look, there's a washer. What that washer does is sit in there so this sits square. What I normally do is screw that back on. That way I don't lose the washer. That's it, all stripped out. I will take that off it a bit later, but I'm not worrying about it now. Take these off as well. Being a fairly late clock, I would think it's 50's. The plates are probably lacquered, so I don't go mad with them in the ultrasonic, because it will strip the lacquer off, so I just leave it in there for a short length of time. Put that off as well. That's the pillar that the minute wheel sits on. I don't like putting too much steel in the cleaner. Cool, that one's tight. Why everything has to be so blooming tight, I don't know. Not going anywhere, is it? Do these as well, and that'll be it then. It's ready for going in the ultrasonic. The only other thing we've got to do is get the mainspring out, but I'll bring you back when I'm ready to do that. Okay, we're ready and set up to take the mainspring out. Always wear leather gloves and goggles when you're doing this if you have a mainspring winder, because they're dangerous things. Hold that with a leather glove on, wind it up, put the sleeve in, get that out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. So it's all locked in there, and all you need to do is twist it the opposite way to what the spring is, and it'll come out. You see how dry that is in there. There's hardly any lubricant at all in there. Now it's got to go back in the spring winder. But the problem is now you've got to bend that out, because sometimes it'll catch it and you have more of it stuck out, and sometimes it won't. You need to get whichever one will go in the hole. That one will go in there, get those out of the way and get it all lined up. And then wind it up again. Slide the sleeve off. And that's the mainspring out. That is very dry, so it needs to be, I won't show you, but you need to stretch it out. What I do, I will show you how I set it up. Just put a screwdriver or something in there, lock it in the vise so you can stretch it out and clean it. I clean it with kerosene, dry it off, and then put it back in the barrel after cleaning the barrel. But I won't be doing that today, so I'll show you once everything's cleaned up and we're going back together. Now we come to putting the mainspring back in the barrel. The barrel's all clean. The teeth I masked up, this I polished and give it a little coat of lacquer. It just keeps it looking nice for that much longer. And basically it's just the reverse of taking it out. Now I shouldn't have done that. tell you what in a sec. I've got the wrong hook on there. I need the shorter one because it gives me that much more sticking out. If you remember, when we took it out, there was only a minute amount stuck out. Always do it so there's a fraction of the spring sticking out, so you know it's going to be seated properly. And see, as you can see now, it's got quite a bit more stuck out. Then just line it up in the barrel, pretty straightforward. Get the hook where there's the majority of room. Get it in there, twist it till it locks, and then put it back in. Pull the sleeve off. Done. It's in the barrel, nice and clean. A few drops of oil will go around it, about half a dozen drops before I put the cap on. And then we move on to the next bit. I burnish every pinion before I put a clock together. I don't polish it as such, I just burnish it. That's all it gets. Get rid of any oil that's on there, and that's it. That's all I do. Each pivot before it goes together. This is how I top the escape wheel, very very gently with 2000 grit. That's it. That's all I do. That way it makes sure there's no burrs there. And then I just go with a bit of Rodico, dab it all the way around to get any excess bits off. But that's all I do to it, every clock before I put it together. Okay, we're ready to put this Kundo back together now. I've already put the base together, so that's all been lacquered and polished. I haven't gone too mad with lacquering because the spun brass has started to get a few stress fractures in it, so I didn't want to go too far with the polishing. They're all ready to go, all the pivots are polished. I have pegged all the bushes. Just, that's all you do, is put it in there, spin it round until it comes out clean. So they've all been done. And they all come out clean. So then it's just a matter of putting it together. I have checked end shake and checked all the wheels individually and together. Just used a bit of Rodico to make sure there's nothing on the teeth. Do the same on the pinion. The slightest bit of contamination will stop one of these clocks. You just got to be quite fastidious with cleanliness, you know, how you clean it. Then once I've done that, I'll put the visor on. And just go through it all to make sure. It only takes a few minutes to do. And if you're not sure, right, there's a bit there. Don't think it was anything, but just run around the pinion just to make sure if you're uncertain. Because say they are very, very prone to slightest bit of friction. And once you're happy that everything's clean, and it's just a matter of putting it together. I always put it together without the anchor to start with. That way get a couple of 3, maximum 4 clicks, and it should start running. When you've done quite a few of them, they're relatively easy to do. But sometimes there's this one next and sometimes there's that one. So depending on the manufacturer. Then that goes on, and I put a couple of screws in loose. Just holds the movement square while you're getting everything lined up. Not enough to pull down on anything, but just enough to stop it from moving. That way now it can't move, and you just gently squeeze it together, not squeeze it as such but hold it together then, and then just manipulate all the wheels into place. Spot the deliberate mistake. I forgot to put the escape wheel in. And no matter how many times you do it, it's easy to forget something. We'll try again. try it again. I normally start off with a centre arbor and then work my way out. Then put the other 2 screws in. Make sure everything spins nice and freely, which it does. Then we'll get it done up a bit. If I remember rightly, these pillars were tight when it came off. Like this bit of turn on that and it starts to go, so that's fine. And then better make sure the 2 clicks, look, and that's running quite freely. That's without any oil. So once it's been oiled, it'll be even better. So now we have to put the anchor in. Don't know why I've still got this visor on, don't need it anymore. You just need to take it, get it open enough just to, this is the problem we had getting it apart, wasn't it? That's it. It was tight. Not sure that's supposed to be that angle, but needs to go a little bit more. Nope. Escape wheels come out. That's it. Don't tighten them up too much, just up till they stop and then a fraction more. And we'll put a couple of clips on just to make sure it runs. Yeah. Just got to oil both sides now. Don't want too much on there, but you want enough. Just a little dab on each. Bit too much on that. Got rid of that. Nice to have it a colour because you can see exactly how much you're putting on. Or you, no, let me rephrase that. You can see that you've put some on. And we'll just put some more in there before I put it away. Okay, now there's just the face and the can't think what it's called now. The going train. Don't forget that little washer. It don't know whether you can see that, but it's slightly shaped and it goes on with the concave bit facing outwards. I said going train, didn't I? Motion Works it should be. Then the cannon pinion goes on. That's so it's got a bit of tension when everything's on. Goes on there, that goes on there. And then a little spring, no, little E-clip, C-clip, whatever you call it, goes on there. That's it. And there's just the dial and the hands and mount it on the base. But I'm not going to show you all that because it's all pretty self-explanatory, isn't it? I hope you enjoyed that, so I'll bring you back when it's up and running and just show you the finished product. Thank you very much. There we are, up and running. Just needs regulation now, or regulating should I say. Ignore the tape around the dome. This is just a dome I keep. As you see, it's got a big crack in it. I just keep it for covering a clock up while I'm sort it out.